In this session, we're going to talk about setting timers. We'll set a couple example timers so you can see how it works and go through the process. Now, the timers on the home screen, if you touch them, it's the same as a reset, okay? But if you hold them, you go into the settings, and that's the same as going to the base menu and going to timer. So we went there directly from the home screen using the other method. Okay, going back. So go back to the home screen. So first I want to do is I want to set this first timer on the top. And I got to hold it, and we're there. So I'm going to make this a count up timer, and I'm going to have it start with the movement of the throttle. Okay, so I'm going to touch this null button, and I'm going to move the throttle. Alright, and then I'm going to hit reverse and press enter. So what I want is I want this timer to be active when it's not at the home position. Okay, so let's go back and let's go ahead and also set a stop switch. So I'm going to set the stop switch as the same as my throttle cut, and that will stop the timer. So going back to the home screen, you can see the timer has stopped when I move the switch. So here we go. I'm going to hit reset. Excuse me. I'm going to hit reset. And I move the throttle. The timer starts. I pull the throttle back. The timer continues. So this particular timer would be used to record your entire flight time. Now let's set another timer that'll help us know when we've been up in the air and potentially out of fuel or out of battery. So let's set up the second timer. On the second timer, I'm going to set it as a countdown timer, and I'm going to set it for typical flight time, say about 7-8 minutes. 7 minutes sounds good. I'm also going to use the throttle to start it again. That way I don't have to remember to do it. So moving the throttle stick. I'm going to hit reverse, and then I'm going to press enter. So anytime we're off this base section, the timer will be running. So I'll hit back. Okay. Now we could set a reset switch, but it's not necessary since we have the reset built into the main screen. If you have an mz-18 or the old mz-24, you're going to need the reset switch function. Okay, going back. Alrighty, so let me stop the first timer, touch it to reset, touch it to reset. So we have two timers. This one's going to be a countdown timer. This one's going to be a count up timer. We want this one to stop anytime we pull the throttle back. We want this one to continue. So let's try it. Pushing the stick forward. The timer comes up, and I'm flying around. Now I decide to cut the throttle for a little bit. Whoops, I got the switch stop on. Sorry, start again. Reset. Okay, start again. Alrighty, so now I've got the timers both running. I pull the throttle back, and this timer stops, indicating there's no motor being run at this time. This one continues, indicating our flight time will continue to increase. Okay, the minute I put the throttle back on again, timer 2 now continues to count down from 7. Going back to the settings screen, you can see that this was a count up timer. We didn't put any limit on it. We start it with stick 1 and we stop it with switch 6. Going back, this one here, we have a countdown timer. We set it for 7 minutes. We start it with stick 1, and we didn't create, and it also stops with stick 1. So here we go. Back to the home screen. I'm going to pull the throttle back to no. Reset this one. Reset this one. Stop it first. Reset it. Okay. Alrighty, starting the timers.
Timer 1.
So timer 1 starts counting up. Timer 2 starts counting down, and that's a simple way to set the timer. But let's look at a little more function on these timers. Going to the base menu, going to timer. Here's our timer 1. Okay, excuse me. Clicking next. There's timer 2 settings. Okay. Clicking next one more time. Here on the third screen, we now can set the date and time, the date and the time. We also have the battery time, and we also have the model time. And at this point, we can reset the battery time and the model time if we wished. Next, back to timer 1, and we're done. And that's it for setting timers. You can count up, count down, set limits, set alarms, and it will take care of itself. Have a good day.